Hello everyone and welcome to today's video where today we're going to be looking at the Marvel Legends X23 and Warpath Uncanny Xforce 2-pack. Along with, I've decided we're going to do the Archangel as well. So we're going to do a basically 3-in-1 review, mostly because this is basically the same exact figure as the Angel. So we're going to look at that, and then this is the one I'm more excited for because I actually don't have this body and I needed an X23. So let's look at the packaging on them. You got the read-ups on the back. Everyone knows these characters, so I'm not really going to read it up. And then you got the art for the characters. And yeah, I also only have one other X-Force figure, which is the Amazing Yamaguchi Deadpool. I do plan on picking up at least the Mafex Wolverine and the Marvel Legends Nightcrawler. I also want to get Deathlock, and I would really like the Phantom X and Psylocke figures, but I don't know if they're actually any good because they're pretty old, so we'll have to see how I feel about those. And then I think those are the only figures we have from Uncanny X-Force. So, and Uncanny X-Force is like pretty special to me. This is was one of my favorite teams reading when I was reading comic books really heavily in the very early 2000s, when I was a really young kid. So I've always really loved this team, and yeah, so there's been a few iterations of the team, so we will definitely have all the iterations on a shelf when I get them all. So, and then for the insert, it's really not X-Men specific. There's like Carnage on there. I don't know why this is the insert they chose, but whatever. It's just the trash around my plastic, right? All right, we're gonna get these guys out and we're gonna take a look at them. And this one's also got a generic insert on the inside. I don't know why. It's got like Captain Marvel on there. I think that's Giant Man, maybe. There's Black Panther, there's Carnage. It's the same exact insert, so whatever. I wish it was a little bit better of an insert, but like I said, just trash around my plastic. Okay, and we got them all out. So we're gonna start off first with Warpath. So, mostly because he's the one I'm least excited for, although I still wanted this figure. Just honestly, if he wasn't in a pack with Laura, I probably wouldn't have picked him up as soon as I did. I just really needed this Laura. I mean, she's an awesome character and I love her. This is not really my favorite version, you know, like suit for Warpath. But I still would have picked it up because of the team, and I want to build the team. It just probably would have taken me a little bit longer, like it takes me with some characters to pick up. Like, I still haven't picked up even Banshee, and I bought his daughter just because I wanted him. So, yeah. But out of these three, he's definitely the least desirable for me. We've gotten a figure of him before. It's not the best one, best looking figure. And this is the body that's used for the, I believe the, Venom, Walmart exclusive Venom, which I really would like to have, but because it's a Walmart exclusive, it's impossible to find for me. So, you know, this is a great clean body for customization. There's pins, and I know people like to use those in the customizer community. But overall, yeah, he just cuts a good silhouette. He's nice and beefy. He's not too overly big because Warpath, I keep wanting to say Warbird because I'm looking at Carol Danvers right next to me, even though that's technically not her Warbird costume. It's the Moonstone disguise. I'm still looking at her. But yeah, Warpath, he looks good, and this is really good articulation scheme, and I don't mind the pins. Pins more so in the legs kind of have started to get on my nerves just because they can get a little gummier. But this doesn't feel too gummy, and he's probably not a figure I'm going to pose all that much anyway. These guys are going to go on their own shelf. One of the few offsets teams of X-Men that I'll actually collect is the Uncanny X-Force. I mean, X-Force stuff in general is the type of stuff that I collect. I really like X-Force. It's just the X-Force teams are really, like, expensive now because I wasn't into collecting when all those figures came out, so it's stuff I'm going to have to get on second hand. I also forgot to mention, they did a Domino as well, so I'll probably pick up Domino too. I know she's a little bit more expensive, but Domino's like a must-have. So, yeah, he's pretty cool. And aesthetically, you know, it's just kind of a black and gray bodysuit with a nice buckle. He's got a good, you know, mask up there. The hair looks nice. I wish he came with an angry head like Laura does, but, you know, I'm glad if it had to go to one of them, I'm glad it went to Laura. You know, she's the more desirable figure for me. But he still should have came with an extra head. So yeah, he looks nice, and I'm glad to get him. He's got those rivets painted right there as well. There's actually rivets painted right there on the belt buckle thing, like pouch thing. All of them have it. That's nice. It's a nice bit of paint. I mean, there's not that much paint on the figure, so that's probably why Hasbro is okay with doing that. So yeah, he looks great, and we'll get into articulation after we look at the other one's aesthetics. And then next, I'd say Archangel, just because I already have an Angel, and Angel is he's one of my favorite X-Men. It's just, I like Angel. Archangel is kind of iffy to me, like, look-wise. I like his arc that he goes on and everything, his arc. But, I'm just an OG Warren guy. But I will not dispute the fact that this guy looks awesome. These wings are awesome, and I do like this look. It's just not as iconic to me as just normal Angel, but this does look great, and the aesthetic is beautiful. The wings look great on him. That pearlescent, like, silver white looks so good on him. The blue face, everything. This just looks awesome. Got the tips there. The head looks awesome. It's got like a sculpt line doesn't seem to be painted all the way in, but I think that's just meant to be that way, because I was watching Robo Don't Know's video on this, and his is the same way. So I'm assuming it's not a copy-to-copy thing. I'm assuming it's every figure, so yeah. So yeah, he looks great, and I'm very happy to have him. Next, we're going to go with, obviously, we're going to go with Laura. This is the one I was most excited about, and I haven't played with her yet, but she's pretty small, so that's good. She's meant to be a little smaller, and she's a cool figure from what I can tell. I mean, I don't have the original. It's not going to get a lot of articulation. I wish they would give the female bodies a new buck, more articulated buck, like they've done with some of the newer female bodies are getting better bodies. So hopefully, honestly, I would just prefer that, Mafex tackles this design. They've already done 2 Uncanny Xforce designs, so maybe we will get her, because I think that would go really well, and that would be the version I display, and I would probably turn this into something else. I don't know. Maybe I would keep it, but have this to be like the masked version, and that, yeah, whatever. Yeah, this is not my favorite X23 design, Laura Kinney design. My favorite is probably her Wolverine design. And yeah, these claws out of the package they were too straight. I need them a little spread out for her. So just be warned of that. These ones are perfect. These ones are a little bit kind of wonky, so you're going to have to mess with them a little bit. But I like her Wolverine costume, the blue and yellow. I hope that they update that, because that was a really good wave in general, honestly, from what I can tell. I was looking at Marvel Legends at the time, but I wasn't buying Marvel Legends. I wasn't collecting at the time that wave was out, or I would have got that whole wave, because I love Sauron, I love Lady Deadpool, I love Deadpool in general, and I love Laura Kinney's X23 design, or Wolverine design. I love her X23 design too. This is her most iconic design probably, but at least one of them. The purple one's probably more iconic than this, but I don't know. For me, I always think of this design when I think of Laura. I just always have, so it's nice to have this version in my collection. And this is a version that I'm fine with just putting on the X-Men shelf. It won't, because I have other X-Force designs, but if I just got her, she'd go just on the shelf with the rest of the X-Men, but she has teammates, so she'll go with her teammates. So, yeah, she looks great. I do think I prefer the lighter gray X-Force color scheme like this Deadpool has, but the dark gray is definitely not bad. So, we're going to go with articulation. We're going to start off with her, because I feel like she's the weakest out of the 3. Just she's a female body, and Hasbro cannot do female double bodies on their Marvel Legends figures, it seems. So for the head, it's just on a hinge, and you're not going to get really any movement out of it besides a little look down. I do wish for these types of head schemes that they would just do a dumbbell joint in there so that you could at least get tilt, you know. So hopefully they'll start implementing that. And then you just got the normal arms. You can hinge up to there. It feels like there's a butterfly joint in there, but I think it's literally just the flex of the plastic. So yeah, you can spin all the way around. You got the upper bicep swivel. You got a double jointed elbow. You got the hinge in and out. You have nothing really here. I mean, you can move it. That's about it. You're not getting it like any crunch, not any arc back, which is very detrimental for a character like, you know, she's a Wolverine character. She needs that crunch. She needs that, you know, arc in all directions so she can get animalistic poses. Imagine a Wolverine without a crunch. You know, it's just not good. For the legs, she can kick forward to there. She can kick out. Oh, shoot, she can kick out. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we need. She can kick back, not really. She's got an upper thigh swivel. She's got a double jointed knee. She's got a boot swivel, which is nice. Hinge back to there. Hinge forward to there. Forward facing pin for rocker. And she even has the claws, which is cool. I wish they came with like a boot that didn't have the claws in it, because she doesn't always have the claws popped. But for action shots, this is going to look really good. So I am not... If it's between this and the not having the toes pop out, I probably would choose the not toes pop out one, but, you know, if you take these out, then there's just going to be the slot there, so that sucks. So maybe I could figure that out. So yeah, that's Laura. She's pretty good for what she is. Next, we're going to go with Archangel, just because he is literally, I think, the same exact body as the Angel figure. I think this is the new Cyclops from the X Factor Cyclops from the Nemesis wave. I think that's what this torso is, but everything else I think is a reuse from that Cyclops. So no butterfly joints. I do does kind of make me wish that they just put like a backpack in this torso and had the wings connected from that. It'd be a little less accurate, but we'd get butterfly joints. And if they're not going to do that, it'd be nice to have a, you know, dumbbell joint and reverse ab crunch. I think that would be better for posing this character than, you know, just the hinge and swivel. You know, it looks not as good as a ball joint up there would look, so that would be nice. For the head, he can move all the way up there, so you can get good flying poses out of him. That's what's most important. You got, you know, standard arm, you can get all that. Get all that. You can crunch forward to there. You can crunch farther, but it pops back up. You can crunch back to there. So, yeah, that's fine. You can swivel there. You got the forward that far. Out. Pretty good. Upper thigh swivel. Actually, that's pretty low compared. No, that's not. It just looks a little low because of the design. And then you have double jointed knees. You have the boot swivel. Hinge back to there. Hinge forward to there. Forward facing pin for rocker. And that's one thing about the Angel body. The hinges on the feet are crazy. I had to pull them out, heat them up, pull them out, shave off some of the plastic on the inside, and they're still super tight, scared that they'll break, like my Cyclops did. My original VHS Cyclops did that, not from X-Men 97, from the original X-Men cartoon line. So yeah, be careful with that. And I saved the best articulation for last because Warpath has some good articulation. For the head, he has what I said I would like on Laura. He's got the dumbbell joint, so he can, even though he won't be able to look up a lot, he wouldn't be able to do that with the hinge anyway. This way, he can at least get some tilt and a little bit of adjustments, so that's nice. He actually has a butterfly joint, the only one out of the three that has a butterfly joint, and I do wish they all three had a butterfly joint, and I guess I get why the other two don't have them, but I still would prefer to have butterfly joints. The arm can go up to there. You got to push it underneath the torso to get it up. Upper bicep swivel. You got a double jointed elbow. You got the hinges. The the torso movement is what I said I wanted on Archangel. So you get the dumbbell joint up there, so you can get actual tilt and stuff out of there, and then you have the reverse ab crunch, so you can get really good movement out of this guy. So he actually might get posed more than I thought he would, just because of how good his articulation in the torso is. Leg can kick forward to there, kick out, not the best, and especially this was a Venom body. This should be way more. For a Marvel Legends, this should be this. I mean, like, there's no reason why it's not that. They can do that. Hasbro, you need to step up your game. Double jointed knee. Well, that one's tight. So normally I have the opposite. The pinned joints are really not tight. I think that was just stuck. Literally, I think that was just stuck. The pin joints are normally not tight, and then the pinless joints are normally too tight. But this is the opposite this time. Boot swivel. They all have boot swivels, which is good. Hinge back to there. Hinge forward to there. Forward facing pin for rocker. Sorry, got a call, so my recording stopped. Alright. Okay, now we're going to... He's got a little glitter on him. We're going to look at all of their accessories. We're going to start off with the 2-pack accessories, and we'll move on to Angel afterwards, because I feel like Angel has the coolest accessories. So, we'll start off with his. He just comes with a pair of trigger finger hands, which can be used in conjunction with his knives. So, just put those right in. You can give him guns if you want to, but, I mean, I don't think of this character as a gun-wielding maniac, so I wouldn't do that too often. These are pretty tight. These hands are not very soft, so you're definitely going to get some bit of trouble, but you can get it in there. So, yeah. But what I'm going to do, at least for now, while he's on camera, is he's got a holster on the back, and you can just plug those right in there, and they both go in. So you can plug them both in, and they do stick out a little bit, but I think it's kind of cool because he's so big. It just kind of adds to the aesthetic. So that's nice. And for Laura, she's got this angry head, this angry head. I wish she had a more stern head, but honestly, these are still good head selections. I wish they'd figure out how to do like swappable hair, so I could have this, like, you know, both hairstyles and both heads, you know what I mean? So, but that's nice. And then she just has a few extra hands. She has a couple splayed out hands, these are nicer than a lot of the splayed out hands we get. These are actually seem unique, at least compared to the other magic wielding hands we get. And we got fisted hands. Yeah, kind of boring, but they work for what she is. And I do wish she had like splayed out claw hands. I think that'd be cool. And like I said, like swappable feet would be cool. But besides that, I think she's got what she needs. Okay, and we're gonna put her back there. And then for Archangel, you get, I mean, if you want to consider the wings, you know, an accessory, they do come off. This is how they come in the packaging. They come in 3 separate parts. Okay, I don't want to unplug those actually, but they're fairly easy to plug in. They're pretty easy to figure out. So for the hands, you get extra hands. You get these like splayed out hands, which are really nice. These are way nicer than the ones that I feel like came with regular Angel. These are the hands that came with regular Angel. And yeah, you'd think they're the same, but they're actually not. Those are like the Cyclops and Vulcan hands. These are way different, and these are way nicer in my opinion. These work. And then you get the angry head sculpt. This is like when he's in the air, flying, pissed off. And then in conjunction with that, to go with that, you get the blades. And as soon as I saw these get revealed, I knew it was going to be Archangel. I just didn't think it was going to be the Xforce version. I was thinking it was just going to be a regular Angel. I know some people were thinking long shot, but I was like, we've already gotten 2 long shots. I don't think long shot's getting another figure, at least for another long while. But yeah, so for these, I think what you do is you just, yeah, they kind of just slide in. I mean, let me try it off camera and just see. Yeah, they kind of just slide in like that. And they are kind of angled down, so you're going to have them shooting down, or you can, you know, the wings have articulation. I didn't show that off in articulation, but the wings, you know, move up and down. You can hinge that. This is on a hinge. I put these on the underside because I feel like they look better, but you can also move them to the back. I just feel like this will articulate better with them on the inside. So, yeah, they all have really good articulation. And then for size comparisons, what we're going to do is bring Angel like this, put her right here, put him right here, and then I'm going to bring in the Amazing Yamaguchi Xforce Deadpool so we can have, you know, see what they all look like together, because this is the only Xforce, Uncanny Xforce figures I have right now. So we will look at these all together. They all look, the grays don't quite line up, but I still feel like the grays don't line up between these, you know, these three anyway. Like, these two have a darker gray and this one has like a silver, so I feel like this works. So that's nice. And then if you wanted to, you could just, you know, have a regular Deadpool on the team. You could do some Amazing Yamaguchi Agent Venom action if you wanted to. You could do, let me pull that out. You could do, this is the Marvel Legends War Journal Punisher with a bunch of bits and bobs put all over him. I put all over him, so they look nice. And then, as far as X-Men stuff, what do I have? So I have the original Angel, well, not the original, but the newest, you know, Red Angel. I feel like they'll do a blue one eventually, but even if they did, I mean, I love Angel, so I probably would pick it up. But this is my favorite look for Angel, so very Champions-esque, very, you know, classic X-Men, so that will be what I display him with. And then this is the X-Men 97 Cyclops with the X-Men, the VHS one, head sculpt to make him more, you know, Jim Lee-esque. So that's what they look like together. And then another winged character I have is, this is Falcon as Captain America. And I just don't have the wings on him because it would make it hard. And this is Ben Reilly Spidey. They look pretty good together. I don't really have that many more X-Men on the table right now. I have a couple. I'll grab a couple. This is the Marvel Legend Deadpool. I think it'd be nice to have an X-Force color repaint of him, because I really like the way that Deadpool looks. So, you know, maybe. This is the Mezco Wolverine, mostly because I don't have an X-Force Wolverine right now, so I figured I'd just put him on there. And then I have a Marvel Legends Wolverine just to see what that would look like. I have the Mezco Cyclops. And then the Marvel Legends. This is the, which wave was this? Apocalypse wave Wolverine with this, the Hot Force head on there. And I put some straps on there, I don't know why. And these are the Hot Force shoulder pads. Or Hot Claws, not Hot Force. So yeah, and that's what he looks like. And all Wolverines are pretty consistent with body size. You know, Logan's are all pretty consistent. So yeah, those are all the size comparisons. Pretty good selection here. I'm glad to have my X-Force collection starting to fill out a little bit now. It's cool to actually see the Uncanny X-Force get a little bit of love in action figure form. Because this is a team that's pretty important to me. And I'm sure it's important to other people too. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye. Coming back real quick here. Just want to say, definitely pick these guys up if you have the chance. They're all in stock on Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know if Angel is, but I got him shipped out. So, the other two are in stock. This guy's pre-order still probably, but I'm sure these will all be pretty easy to pick up. But, so, if you want to pick them up, pick them up. If not, thanks for watching anyway. Thanks, guys.